Hi everyone. Today is June 19th, 2019. I'm Paul Adams. I'm here at the Baiting Hollow Hummingbird Sanctuary, as I have done for several years now on my birthday, which is today, my 72nd birthday today. I filmed some short videos of me and my climbing roses. And there's one right behind me. This one is called Francis Lester. It's climbing up an old cherry tree, as I think almost all my roses are. And I rather like the look of a rose climbing up an old tree. Francis Lester is a very simple rose. It's a single rose with a pinkish tinge to the tips of the petals and a yolk coloured centre with the anthers and the stamen. So it's also very fragrant, and that's the main reason that I like it. And it's pretty vigorous. As you can see, these canes are quite stout. There are a lot of problems with growing climbing roses here. The deer, the poor soil, the fact that it's a tree, and the airplanes. And there's one more airplane approaching. It's coming from almost certainly from Europe, going into JFK. We're 90 miles away from Kennedy, but it's already starting its descent. It's probably at about 12,000 feet, and it will go down lower and annoy a lot more people. But the main thing is the climbing roses, and between the planes it's very quiet here. So I'm going to try now to do similar but shorter clips for some of the other climbing roses here. So I'm wishing everybody a wonderful June 19th, including myself. Bye. Now, I'm continuing these little videos of me amongst my climbing roses in Baiting Hollow on my birthday, June 19th. I'm 72 years old. And in front of me, and you're seeing the other side of it, is another Francis Lester. I've got several of them growing up now because I'm particularly fond of Francis Lester. And then behind me, up there, and we'll have a closer look in a moment, that is Francois Dourami. Now, most of the climbing roses that I have are actually rambling roses, and they have to be vigorous to compete with the tree, which takes the moisture, the nutrients, and above all deprives the rose of light. So, but nevertheless, I persist in doing this, and it's more or less working. So this is Francis Lester, again, but a different Francis Lester, with Francois Dourami behind me. And now we're going to probably have a closer look at Francois Dourami. Okay. So this one here, I'll get this rope a little bit out of the way. Actually, I don't know the name. It's a pale pink, fragrant, but not as fragrant as Francis Lester there, and certainly not as as fragrant as my favourite Albertine, which we'll be meeting shortly. So this one's growing reasonably well up this cherry tree, and you can see that it's certainly reached 8 feet, and it's continuing to grow. One thing that I wanted to add is that unfortunately today is a very grey, wet day. It may rain at any moment, so it's not ideal conditions, but we'll give it a go. So this one is actually unknown to me, and I've lost the tag. It's been in the ground maybe 3 or 4 years. So, and then Francois Dourami is behind me, so I'll now go up to that one. Okay. So this is Francois Dourami, and I'm going to step into here so that you can see me, although the main thing is the rose itself. And this year, you can see the petals are falling. That's always delightful to see. Raindrops coming off too. Now Francois Dourami is again fragrant, but not very fragrant, and it's growing up this cherry tree, branch of the cherry tree, but then another set of canes is climbing up a cherry tree over there, which you can't see, and then behind me you can see and hear Long Island Sound. So this is Francois Dourami. This is now up there at least 10 feet, maybe 12 feet. It seems to be a very vigorous rambling rose, and so even in competition with the tree, it's doing reasonably well. So I'll move out, let you have a closer look, and then we'll move on to the next climbing rose. Climbing rose is actually a view of the same rose, Francois Dourami. This time I'm showing you another completely different part of Francois, growing up a second cherry tree. So he's actually growing up 2 cherry trees side by side. Wonderful, wonderful smell. And then behind the camera, you can't see, another wonderful smell. There's a Japanese honeysuckle cascading out of other trees. Hear a plane approaching, so we'll stop and move on to the next rose. On my little tour is Perennial Blush, and it's a little bit difficult to get to, but I think I can squeeze in here. So this is Perennial Blush. It's down a slope a little bit, again climbing up one of these black cherry trees. It's a little bit past its prime. It probably peaked yesterday, although there are still some buds, but there are some dead flowers, and fragrance, but not as much as Francois Dourami. So this is Perennial Blush on its way out, and I will deadhead the whole rose once the blooms have finished. There's a bee joining me here in one of the little flowers of Perennial Blush. Okay, so this rose, and I'm going to sit well behind it. If you can see me. This is Rambling Rector, and I'll have to film it from this side too, which is even more spectacular. This, of course, is a rambling rose, quite a vigorous one. So it's growing up this cherry tree, and then I have a rope, and it's growing right over the rope and almost reaching at this oak tree here. So obviously that's a big problem, the lack of light beneath these trees. I do try to trim them a little bit to let more light through, and luckily not all the cherry trees are healthy, so sometimes quite a bit of light gets through the sparse foliage. So this is Rambling Rector, and I would say again just a bit past peak. Peak was probably yesterday. The rain, we've had a lot of rain, and that's also has taken its toll on the climbing roses. But when I walk back to the camera underneath Rambling Rector, I'll get its wonderful fragrance. I've cut several sprigs of it to put in the cottages. So this is Rambling Rector that I'm walking underneath towards the camera, and I'll now go to the other side of Rambling Rector. Okay, so now we're looking at a small part of Rambling Rector from the other side. So the phone or the camera, I'm actually using my phone this year as to do the videos. It's simpler than a proper video camcorder. So it's looking towards the sound, but the sound is invisible because of all the mist and the clouds. So I'll walk underneath Rambling Rector again, and here we are. So you can see it's way above me, Rambling Rector, and now I'm going to go down there and look at Albertine Rose, which is another wonderful Rambling Rose. Now I'm just enjoying that moment of quiet. So I'll just turn the camera around so that you can see where we're going now. Down there, that is, I don't know whether you can see it there. Yes, that is Albertine Rose, and where are we going now? Okay, so this is Albertine Rose. I'll probably go round underneath the other side of the tree, and here we are, Albertine Rose on over me, and I'll give the tree a little bit of a shake, and you can see the petals coming down. I love that, and now the ground is covered with the white petals of Albertine Rose, but the flowers have a strong yellow tinge when they first open, and then they become pure white. And again, Albertine is, there's a bee up in that flower here. Albertine is past his prime a little bit. Barbier was a famous breed of climbing roses. There's a plane, so I'm going to have to stop. Albertine, and this is probably the most fragrant, the heavenly smell of my climbing roses. And again, Albertine, well, it's more or less peaking. There are some dead flowers here, but there are still a few buds to open. So this is Albertine, and as I look forward I can see Francis Leicester, and to the right Perennial blush there. And we'll probably have another look at Albertine from the other side. I'm tempted to linger here because of the wonderful smell, but I'll let you have a quick further look. Okay, so I move to the other side, I move the camera to the other side of Albertine. I'm going to pop up on the far side of the cherry tree here, and now Albertine, of course, was one of the heroines in Proust's marvelous long novel À la recherche du temps perdu, In Search of Lost Time, and she is she figures importantly in that novel, but it's a famous rambling rose as well. And my gardening hero Montidon grows Albertine in his garden up an apple tree. I don't have any apple trees, but I do have these wild cherry trees. He has much better soil than I do, but Albertine is each year getting a little bit bigger, probably 10 feet up that tree, that trunk there. So behind me you've got Long Island Sound, which is not visible today because the silver blends in with the clouds and you simply can't see it. Very, very moist, grey, silvery grey, wet day today. So that concludes my brief survey of some of the climbing roses here. There are a number of others that aren't big enough really to show yet, or in a different part of the garden. But I've been doing this on my birthday now. I think 69th birthday, 70th, 71st, and now 72nd birthday. Touch wood, we'll do it again next year. Bye. At the edge of the bluff, this one is Étain. And as I say, the tree and the rose are right at the edge of the bluff, at the edge of Long Island Sound. And Étain is quite fragrant, not as fragrant as Albertine up there, but very, very pleasant. And it's a miracle that it's doing well because it's directly exposed to the north winds, the winter northwest winds, but it's survived now quite a number of years, and it's slowly getting bigger and bigger. It's actually now slightly raining, so this is not a great 19th of June, but it's, I suppose, very good for a gardener to have so much rain, and I'm certainly enjoying my birthday surrounded by these wonderfully fragrant climbing roses.